Okay, so the actual model I have here is the Pro Series Monarch. It's, at the moment, apart from the Marty Friedman one that's coming out shortly, this is the highest spec Monarch that there is. There's a JS series and there is obviously the X series as well. This is the highest spec one. This is, I guess this is the posh one. It's made in Indonesia, like most Jacksons now. In fact, all the Jacksons I have at the moment are made in Indonesia. There's no wrong with any of them. So they're really well made, and this one in particular, I've noticed tons of differences between this one and my other ones that are made in Indonesia. The first one, which I'll just point out to something they've done, which I think is a great move, is they used to be a sticker on the back saying made in Indonesia, and now it is basically, if I just show you this really close, you'll be able to see it. Can you see how it actually says now crafted in Indonesia, and there's no label, it's actually printed on the guitar itself. The new inlays are like reversed shark fin inlays, I guess. They're not your normal shark fin inlays. I was a bit unsure about that at first, to be honest, but when you actually see it in the flesh, in fact the first thing everybody says is, whoa, look at those inlays. You know, so it just shows that when you see things on pictures that they don't ring true to the actual guitar when you see it in the flesh, which is why these videos and people doing these videos are so important. The headstock is, I actually call it the slat headstock, because the slat series in the X series range, the soloists have all got this headstock on. I actually like this headstock a lot. It's not typical what you'd see on a single cut guitar, but who cares, because Jackson aren't the sort of company that do the norm anyway. Jackson are the innovators of all pointed guitars and putting Floyds and super strats and thin necks and all. They are the original innovators for me, Jackson and Charvel, and it's not abnormal for them to go with something like that and say, no, we are Jackson still and we can do what we want. If they didn't and they just put the normal blocky square looking headstock on there, they wouldn't be Jackson for me personally, if they just did everything the same. But let's get to the key points anyway. It's got Seymour Duncan blackouts in the Pro Series model, and I've always used EMGs, to be fair, but I quite like these in this guitar. I haven't changed them out for a reason, and that is because I do like these in this guitar. I've got some spare EMGs lying around, and before I ordered this guitar I thought, oh, I'll probably put them in. There's no point having them lying around when they're my favourite pickup. But these pickups sound really good in this guitar, and I kind of like having one of my guitars that's not the same as all the rest. So yeah, they work for me at the moment, that's for sure. The neck, as you can see on the back here, like most Pro Series, it's like an unfinished neck. It's like a light lacquer basically on the neck, and then you've got this like a seam here where it joins in when the paint job's on there. This is silver burst, and it looks gorgeous. It's stunning. That's how new it is. Look, it's still got stickers and stuff on come on it, but the fingerboard is ebony fingerboard, and there's like, I don't know if you can see these. I'll try and get close before you can see these inlays properly. But these inlays are like, it's an ebony board with ebony inlay with like a white, can you see that there? Like a white outline of a shark fin. So it looks pretty nice. The binding around the neck and the headstock is really, really tidy. I'll just show you how tidy it is. You can see it goes all the way around. It's got locking tuners. These are new to me anyway. I'm used to the locking tuners that are like what you find on a Jim Root Telly or a Jim Root Strat. I'm used to those types of locking tuners. These ones are different. You kind of put the string in, and it took me a while to work this out, and then as you tighten them, there's a mechanism there that actually turns the opposite way, and it locks the string and grabs it on its own without having to twist on the back. It was a bit faffy at first, but I've got my head around it now, so that's okay. Another thing I wanted to mention, for me, the most important thing about this guitar that makes it better, if I dare say that, than all other single cuts is this. Can you see the cutaway behind the horn there? The horn is set pretty far back in terms of where it ends, like it ends around there, which is about 21st, 23rd. So the cutaway there for me is a massive important thing, because I've tried so many single cuts by other brands where everybody, every man and his dog, every brand has tried to get around the fact that when you have a single cut that there's stuff in the way when you go behind. There's this part in the way which you can't get away from. If it's a single cut, it's a single cut, and it's going to always have this here in the way. But they've tried to scoop around. Lots of brands have tried to do things and take things away from this area around here so your hand can actually move up. This is the first time I've ever seen anyone do anything it does actually work, and it's not a strain to get up there at all. You can see it is very, very reachable because of that cutaway, and that for me is the most important thing on the guitar, and they've done such a cracking job of that. It makes it feel almost custom, a bit custom like. The guitar does feel like it's got that much attention to detail, but it does kind of feel a bit customy. There's another nice cutaway there, look, so it fits in with your body. It's quite a thin body, but it's pretty heavy. I like single cuts to have some weight to them. That's the way they should be for me. As you can see, it's quite a thin body, but it is still quite heavy. Mahogany body, mahogany neck, and the binding, if you can see here, it gets really thick there, like as it scoops around the horn where they've cut away. It gets nice and thick there, and it really does make it look quite classy. You see it on both sides. So that's it. That's the Jackson Monarch. There you go, if you just want to look at the headstock. Still plastic that I've left on the plastic covers on the plastic pieces on the guitar. I've not had them off yet, but there you go. That's the Jackson Monarch. I think it's great. Everybody that's got one, they think it's great as well. Every gig I use it, everybody says, "Oh, what's that? What is it? Oh, it's that Jackson Monarch. All right. Well, what's it like?" Well, it's really good, and I really like it. I can't wait because I'm hoping that next year they're going to bring them out with a Floyd on, because live, when I'm in the studio, the last thing I want is a Floyd Rose on a guitar usually, but live I use a Floyd a real lot, probably too much. So I'm hoping to bring one out with a Floyd, and if they do, then I'll see you back here when there's one out with a Floyd on. But yeah, that's the Monarch, and it's great.